The following is paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network. You're listening to Real Estate Radio Fresno on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 The FM KMJ. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Craig Barton.
Good morning, Central California. I am your host, Craig Barton, and welcome to the Real Estate Radio Network, the most important hour of radio each week, here on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 The FM KMJ, 2 for the price of 1. Real Estate Radio is a show dedicated to bring... I just threw that last part in myself, just so you know. It's a show dedicated to bringing some rational thought to the crazy world that we live in and helping you to rebuild the Central Valley's housing and credit markets. You know, within every market, Michelle, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted advice. And that's exactly what you're going to hear every Sunday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. right here on News Talk 580 KMJ. And 105.9 The FM KMJ. Thanks so much for joining us. You are just chomping at the bit this morning, aren't you, Princess?
No, I'm behaving. I'm trying to behave. I told you last week I'd try to behave.
There you go, Johnny. That's the look of restraint. Either that or great meds, one of the two. As always, it's so good to have my special guest host, Michelle Lynn Pettis, here in the studio with me.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
So 2 weeks in a row, you get to sleep in. What's that like?
I'm a little over-coffeeed this morning.
Yeah?
I had too much time to drink too much coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to start earlier, Johnny.
Sounds like, Johnny, this is something she's going to start blaming on me.
Of course.
Right?
Why not? Who wouldn't?
It's easy. I'm the second man.
And by the time we are done,
right?
It's almost time for lunch.
Oh, there you go.
So, you know, anyways.
Yeah, so great to have Michelle Lynn Pettis here in the studio with me. Michelle is a licensed real estate professional with Valleywide Homes. You're part of the team at Valleywide. And we're also very fortunate, not a new face, a familiar face in the studio. We have got the man, the myth, the legend, Sal Hernandez.
And what a face for radio he
Good morning,
has.
everybody.
Hey, Sal. Sal, good thing you spoke when you did, because I don't think you heard the...
Face for radio?
I was trying to cover what you said.
Yeah, making sure that...
Good morning, Sal.
Good morning.
Sal is a local listing broker with Valleywide Homes here in the studio to tell us everything we want to know about HUD Homes and some secrets about some of the things that are coming down the pipe with HUD Homes in the very near future. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, you know, the Real Estate Radio Network gives us, collectively, the opportunity to reach so many people efficiently for 1 full hour each and every week. That's Michelle dancing to the music in her head. Yes, Sunday morning. Our goal at the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate market so we can help bring you
back home.
Well, on today's show, is it any wonder California home prices are up? Once again.
No, really?
Yes.
Wowzers.
Yeah, but having said that, home prices home price increases. There's a little bit of a slack off.
About dang time. Darn time.
Thank goodness. I don't
Darn
think we could keep up that pace.
No, exactly.
Nor would we want to if we are being stewards of the market.
Correct.
But that was a lot of responsibility there. And fewer homes entered foreclosure track in August
Yippee!
of 2013.
Hey, that's a great thing. That is.
And Americans' outlook on housing hits a plateau.
Is that a good plateau or a bad plateau?
No, I think it's a good plateau.
I was hoping so based on the other things you just mentioned.
Well, it depends upon your perspective.
I guess so.
Yeah. And as we mentioned, we also have Sal Hernandez. Sal is a local listing broker with Valleywide Homes here in the office. Talk with us about how just exactly how easy it is to buy a HUD home today. We're also going to take some listener questions. Got a couple good ones, too, by the way. Cool. Make sure you stay with us. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that you hear on our show, well, let's say it's just a question about something that's affecting you and your world. It all starts with one call. Call us anytime. 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. We'd love to hear from you. Take us with you wherever you go and listen to us on your smartphone with the iPeak Tuner app that you can download from your app store, or listen to us online at KMJNow.com. You can also check out our resources by going to our website. Go to Valleywide Sells. You can search for your new home, or you can get more information about reverse mortgages, how to save money on your insurance, buying real estate, if you need a real estate agent, or if you need bankruptcy advice. Go to valleywidesells.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 Keywords.
Friend Valley Wide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 Keywords.
KMJ, call Valley Wide.
To call into the show anytime, during the show, after the show, during the week, when you want to wake Michelle up early at 4 a.m., just call us.
Nice.
Anytime. Let's take a look at today's hot property. Today's hot property is brought to you by Perfect Inspections. Whether it's residential, multifamily, or commercial, use Press 4 Keywords, Perfect Home Inspections. Or call Dale Devereaux today for your perfect home inspection, as well as a free quote on what it would cost to have your largest purchase of your life inspected by Dale. You can give Dale a call at 352-6941. Again, that's 352-6941. Well, today's home is Sal. It's a HUD home. Today's HUD home is 6937 East Princeton Avenue, Fresno, California, 93727. Major cross streets, Temperance and Shields in Fresno. It is Clovis Unified School Districts. This 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,452 square foot home built in 2009. Last week, I think you had mentioned, Michelle, that it was just over $100.
Just under.
Yeah, well, last week you did mention it was just over $100.
No, I meant under. Sorry. My mistake.
I'm messing with you.
No, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, and I say that because kind of $100 a square foot is generally my thought process of new construction in a lot of cases. You know, baseline is going to be in some regular mid-economic conditions.
Yeah.
You know, so when you are looking at under $100 a square foot for something as glorious and large as this, it's wonderful.
This property is a 2-story, so what you're going to typically see with 2-story residences versus single story is that the price per square foot is going to be slightly lower because it is a 2-story. And not all 2 stories, I mean, to be quite frank, not all folks want to live in a 2-story home.
Correct.
Some folks are,
but
they
if you
don't have an issue. Yeah.
What a deal.
It is. Well, the bidding deadline for this HUD home is daily. So if you'd like to schedule a private showing, give Michelle a phone call, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Or if you'd like more information about this hot property, please use Press 4 Keywords.
KMJ Hot Property.
And just like we were...
Jinx, you owe me a code.
Yeah, okay. We'll send you more information about this hot property right to your phone. Look for more hot properties each week right here on the Real Estate Radio Network. Well, top stories in the news. Again, we talk about Fresno County active inventory up again for the 10th straight week in a row. 1,579 active listings, almost 2.5 months of inventory in Fresno's current market.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot as well.
I like it right where it's at. I'm thinking if we stay right here for a bit, we'll be just fine.
Just fine? So let me ask you a question real quick. Is this what you would call equilibrium?
I think we're at a good place right now in the Fresno area, honestly.
A good place is equilibrium where neither, I think really, where neither the seller or the buyer has too much leverage in any market. And the reason being is if one has too great a leverage in the market, what ends up happening is that somebody ends up doing things they wouldn't normally do in a market where you find a significant amount of equilibrium. And I like equilibrium.
Well, I like it right now because, honestly, the competition with offers is not as strong as it was a month ago. Additionally, really good inventory, like some of the nicer flips and things that our investors have come in and produced, stay on the market a little bit longer to give more people the opportunity to go take a look at those before making their decisions. That's nice to see. They may not love the fact it's not moving as quickly.
I was going to say, at whose
but
expense?
I do believe that this is a consumer-friendly environment that we're in. Rates are still low.
Consumer-friendlier, most definitely.
Friendlier, definitely.
So do you feel that sellers are feeling, and I don't want to say the pinch, but they're beginning to see the ebb in terms of housing prices?
No, I didn't say consumers could see it because if they're
Sellers.
buying a house...
Sellers.
Oh, sellers.
Yeah.
I think they're seeing it.
Yeah.
I think sellers are feeling it right now a little bit.
It's reflecting in some of their responses, how they communicate with buyers' agents, right?
Yeah, but if you're a buyer, you have no clue because you're just now dipping your toe in the water probably, and you don't realize how it's been. When I have a client who's a little frustrated, who's been looking for 2 weeks, I have to giggle a little bit and tell them not to worry.
Yeah, had you been in the market 90 days ago,
you'd still be in the market.
Still be
no,
in the
I'm
market.
kidding. But no, it is kind of an interesting little ebb and flow we have going right this second.
Right.
Yeah.
And the stats are always slightly behind the market. So 10 weeks after, Chairman Bernanke made his comments about the government's bond buying activities and saying, hey, at some point, we are going to slow our roll on our $84 billion monthly habit of artificially keeping mortgage rates low. Boy, this is the result, or part of the result, I should say. Well, on the same note, California home sales heat up while price increases begin to slack off, and I think this is a perfect example. California posted its strongest home sales for any August in 7 years.
Good deal.
Yeah, love it. A relief to buyers competing over very slim pickings. Well, Fresno County, when your inventory increases by 50%, it's a little, I was thinking about it on my way to the show this morning, is, for the flippers, they are such an important part of the food chain.
They are.
They really, really are, because they will come in and they will take a property that's really been down on its luck, rehab the property, in many instances make it good as new. Almost good as new. They serve a huge or a very, very important purpose in today's market. So
But let's not forget, it's for profit.
Yes.
So I think what we have to realize is that those are companies out there doing this for profit. They're not doing this out of the kindness of their heart.
There is risk, yes.
There is risk involved. They expect reward. So the problem I think that we have is when we get to this really comfy place and where consumers are purchasing and moving forward, and the investors, their appetite becomes too ferocious, we may see an upset in the market locally, just
Right.
because if they're not making the profits that they anticipated for their investors and whatnot,
Sure.
It's just like any other organization. Your return has to be there, and if it begins to not be there, I think we're going to see
Your business model is going to suffer.
Yeah, we're going to see some changes in the market locally.
Well, the median house price also was $361,000 statewide, down 0.6% from $363,000 in July, but was up 28.5% from $281,000 in August 2012.
Wow.
So we're still seeing, what did we see 60 days
Price
ago?
gains.
We saw a 31% plus increase year over year from 2012 to 2013. So now we're down slightly. Not all that surprising. Really not all that surprising. Well, fewer homes also entered foreclosure track in August. Now, lenders initiated foreclosure auction in August against the fewest U.S. homes of any month in nearly 8 years. Isn't it interesting that when we're talking the number of years between each of these
It
stories?
sounds like such a long time, but for any of us who lived through it, like it was just yesterday.
Okay.
It was just yesterday.
When you think of it that way, when I think back 8 years ago, we're 2013, so that was 2005. 8 years ago, 2005, we were still down 1,500 shy. When you think of, geographically, where the business was, or our business was located, and what type of growing pains we were experiencing at the time, the market was
Huge
just
growth.
absolutely roaring.
Huge growth.
Yeah.
I found it interesting on this article, though, the 5 states that they mentioned. Florida, Ohio, Maryland, and Delaware, where if I could spit it out, were the largest foreclosures states this last month.
And
Which I found interesting, based on where they're located.
We knew that Florida, Ohio were 2 of the hardest hits. When you look at just across the nation, California, Nevada, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, those were probably every single one of those states were probably in the top 10. So I'm a little curious, why Maryland and Delaware?
Was it just a popularity of a longer type of adjustable rate mortgage? Was there...
Right.
Yeah, it just seems, was it slow to catch up with the influx of higher prices back in the day? I don't know, but I found it interesting that Maryland and Delaware, into the top 5 with foreclosures this last month.
Yeah, very interesting. Some 55,755 homes entered the foreclosure process last month, a decline of 8% from July and down 44% from August last year. Now, this was reported by RealtyTrack. It's definitely a phenomenal trend. Now, the other thing that we would say is this is the number of foreclosure filings are down. However, there's also a much larger percentage of properties. Now, it's not necessarily directly related as far as reducing the number of foreclosures that we see on the market. But what we're seeing is that, and Sal, you could probably echo this as well, we're seeing many more bulk sales. I just saw on the last Sunday, I believe it was, there was something even advertised in Fresno, in the Fresno Bee, about bulk sales being initiated.
Yeah, that's something that's starting to be initiated by a lot of lenders. Where
HUD as well.
They're starting to look at, cut their expenses overall when they start thinking of the whole acquisition cost of the property, managing it, going through the entire process, paying commissions to everybody, doing repairs, health and safety.
And you also have to take into consideration there, I think it's important to note that you have a non-performing asset. So the longer time is an extremely important variable there because the asset continues to perform, to not perform, which increases that number dramatically. So basically, you sell it short sooner. I think the stats that we had that we had seen back beginning of the year here on the show was that mitigating foreclosure would save a servicer or an underlying owner or investor of a note roughly in the ballpark of about 26%. Comparatively speaking, pre-foreclosure versus foreclosure.
Yeah, so overall, they put it on the market as a bulk sale to investors. I mean, they're able to get out of it and not have to pay all their expenses.
And the investors are the ones, and the investors and the consumer are the ones who are going to absorb those costs down the road.
And the investor is, in many instances, getting an amazing deal. I saw some stats on different notes and different bulk pool sales where the final price was 40, 50, 60 cents on the total valuation of that, again, non-performing asset. But I would think it's like private money, that you're leveraged sufficiently in order to...
Yeah, and sometimes, if you look at it, the investors also, they're picking it up cheaper. At the same time, they look at a net return. So, in essence, the consumer is going to benefit from it as well because, the investor doesn't have to mark it up as high to hold their net profit, what they're looking to hold.
And generally, I would think most of those properties are going to hit the market much quicker.
Oh, certainly.
Much quicker. Nobody's going to be holding them indefinite amounts of time.
Michelle, you bring up a very good point because what it does is it helps us get down that Darwinian trail in terms of a whole lot quicker. Letting the market do what it needs to do. Well, this is one of the ways. It's interesting. There's an algorithm to tell the investors that if you just let the market do what it does, the market's going to recover quicker and you're going to make more money. So let's just do it.
That's so funny that you say that because years ago, and I've said this before to you, years ago I had a conversation with an agent who's probably, I'd say he's in his early 70s now is my guess. And back in the day he said, Michelle, not near as many people are going to make money in this market as this bubble gets bigger as they are when it pops.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. Like he just knew. And it's so, really as we're watching, it's just, the income and the wealth is being redistributed, shall we say, through this process. And he was right.
Take heed, make note, young lady. Yeah. It's time to be making money.
Yeah.
Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle, Sal, and myself share with you on our show this morning, or you have a specific question about something that is affecting you and your world right now, it all starts with one call. Call us anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go. And listen to us on your smartphone with the iPeak Tuner app that you can download from your app store or listen to us online at KMJNow.com. You can also go to our website, search for your new home, or ask us questions regarding buying real estate, selling your home, needing a CPA, needing an estate planner, or help reduce my tax liability. Go to valleywidesells.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 Keywords.
Friend Valleywide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 Keywords.
KMJ, call Valleywide.
To call into the show anytime. We'd love to hear from you. Well, coming up, we mentioned we're going to take a look at HUD homes. What is a HUD home? And who specifically can buy HUD homes? Again, we mentioned we have local listing broker Sal Hernandez from Valleywide Homes here in the studio with us to answer those and many more questions. Make sure you stay with us. You are listening to the Real Estate Radio Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Rick Ransom, a local guy, began his career in mortgage lending in 1989. In 91, he became one of the first reverse mortgage lenders in California. Since that time, he's helped hundreds of seniors with reverse mortgages and other senior-related issues. And he's one of the few in this business who is a CPA.
This is Rick Ransom. Much of what you hear on TV and radio is not altogether true. There is misinformation. A reverse mortgage can help you supplement your retirement, pay off your existing mortgage or credit cards, even purchase a new home. If you're ready for a free face-to-face meeting with someone with 45 years experience in the application process, call me at 221-5355. That's 221-5355. I look forward to meeting with you.
DRE number 513201, NMLS number 240770.
Come taste the flavor of the valley at Fresno Buddhist Temple's Ginza Food Bazaar on Saturday, October 26th, from 11:30 to 6 p.m., located at 2690 East Alluvial Avenue between Chestnut and Willow. Teriyaki chicken, sushi, ribs, katsu dogs, plus many more food choices, as well as desserts. Live entertainment and a raffle for a $1,000 first prize and an iPad second prize, plus many more great prizes. For more information, call 442-4054. That's 442-4054. Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer, at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
When it comes to investing in wealth management, you can find good counsel from someone at a local office for a Wall Street firm. And if you do well, a main office in New York does well. However, we at Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group offer a very different choice. Our associates offer Wall Street experience from an independent, local company. We answer to you, not New York. Thies & Duker's owners, associates, and staff members live right here. We're your neighbors.
I'm Tom Morgan, a financial consultant with Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group. I recently joined Thies & Duker because I wanted to serve my clients in an independent firm that truly values clients, families, and this community. If that's what you're looking for too, give me a call at 448-8190.
Feel right. At home. At Thies & Duker. Visit us online at thiesandduker.com. THIESENDUEKER.com.
The consultants at Thies & Duker are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Come join the fun and show your support for three-time defending Valley champion Coach Adrian Wiggins and the Clovis East boys basketball program at the 9th annual Crab Feed Dinner on Saturday, October 12th at 6 p.m. at the Fresno Betsuan Buddhist Temple's Family Dharma Center, located at 2720 East Alluvial Avenue. A dinner featuring crab, chicken, and tri-tip. A live and silent auction with dancing starting at 9 p.m. For more information, contact 797-5381. That's 797-5381. Or use press 4 keywords, Clovis East.
You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, Michelle, as we had mentioned, we are very fortunate to have again in the studio with us the man, the myth, the legend, Sal Hernandez.
Good morning. Thanks for the great introduction there.
No kidding.
Sal's a local listing broker with with BLB Resources and Valleywide Homes. Here in the studio. Sal is responsible for the oversight, management, marketing, inspections, and subsequent sale of all HUD homes.
Everything fall into other.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's head cook, bottle washer, and then
Miscellaneous other duties is how they
there you
usually
go.
put it on.
So, Sal, thanks again for being with us. Let's start with for our listeners, let's identify real quick. We talk about HUD homes to a great extent, weekly, and it's important. We want to make sure that our job is to get the word out as far as HUD homes, letting folks know that it is not some odd or strange animal that's difficult to acquire. The process is different. That's all. So tell us real quick again, what is a HUD home?
Well, the definition of a HUD home is it's a home that's been foreclosed on a federally insured loan. The bottom line for consumers, it's a home that saves you money. It's a great property to look into. They help you save on appraisal fees, the overall expenses on a HUD home are cheaper, and you know what it actually appraised for from the get-go. So HUD home is a great benefit for consumers.
Super.
A lot of people call our office often on HUD homes because you do list the HUD homes. One of the things I hear often is, I'd like to sign up for that HUD program. How do you respond to those people? Because they've heard about it and they understand they're out there, but they don't really. They do. So we do tell them what you just shared that you do.
And one of the main reasons for that with HUD, the organization, it's out there to help a lot of people, and so a lot of the times they do confuse it with it's a special program that's going to allow me to get into a house for cheaper. Way I usually explain it to everybody is it does help an owner-occupant. HUD is designed for home ownership. And so initially, every home, when it comes out on the market, if it qualifies for under certain restrictions, meaning the house can be occupied. It doesn't need to be reconstructed, in essence. It will give a home ownership the opportunity.
So what we need to clarify, it's not SHDAP, it's not a program, it's actually a benefit.
Bottom line is, I usually
home ownership.
They have to qualify for a loan.
And it doesn't matter?
So it doesn't matter.
It's not a HUD loan.
It's not a HUD loan.
Right.
They have to qualify for a loan regardless if it's with the bank of their preference, if it's a broker, whichever it may be. The bottom line is, if they qualify for a loan, they qualify to buy a HUD home.
And let's talk about that. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. It is not just for first-time home buyers.
That's a common misconception. Because
it is.
When you hear folks and they say, so FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, is the entity that you're talking about that actually insures the actual loans. They don't make loans. They insure loans. But when you say FH, a lot of folks will say first-time home buyer. What does the A stand for?
Yeah, that is true. That's one of the misconceptions about HUD homes. It can be for anybody. The main focus on a HUD home is you are buying the home as your primary residence.
Right.
So if you own another home and one of the guidelines is it has to be your primary home, and you cannot have purchased another HUD home as an owner occupant within the last 2 years.
But let's talk about the home we just talked about, the 93727 on Princeton.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 3,400 square feet, people.
So
how many first-time home buyers are out there looking for 3,400 square feet? Home not here locally, not that many. So
there's quite a bit of buyers out there.
But you know what I'm saying? Okay, but my point for saying that, gentlemen, is that a move-up buyer can purchase this house. It is not for just first-time home buyers.
And so, as long as you can get a loan that will allow you to be a primary residence, even if you're down the street from this home and you live in a 1,800 square foot home and you can now afford this home because of the price being so cheap, you can buy this HUD home as long as your loan is for an owner-occupant.
Right.
What happens is sometimes we'll get the buyer that says, hey, I'm going to buy this home as an owner-occupant, and their loan is structured as an investment.
Yeah, that doesn't work with HUD.
That's where it kind of gets tricky, and it doesn't work that way.
A little bit of a problem.
That's why I said you have to qualify for a loan. So it's not a program, HUD home, as long as you qualify for the loan.
Right.
And that is as an owner-occupant, you can buy any one of these homes.
Right.
And you have the opportunity to get in there and save some money.
So you brought up an important point. The key words or phrase is get pre-qualified.
Yes.
First and foremost, whether it's purchasing a HUD home or any home, our listeners need to understand that, and human nature is such that, and we talk about this quite regularly, is that human nature is such that we do what feels good. So when it comes time for hopping in the car, is it much easier to say, hey, sweetheart, why don't you call the mortgage lender lender this morning or tomorrow morning, and let's get pre-approved.
That's so glamorous, Greg.
Yeah, oh, it is so. It sounds like bloodletting, right? Okay. Or using leeches to cure my ails. As opposed to, hey, you want to just hop in the car this afternoon?
Take a drive.
Oh,
honey, let's.
Go look for some properties. I got this neat little app on my phone that it's a map.
Truly, it tells me everything.
And it tells me all the properties, what's listed, what's pending, what's active.
We think it does.
Yeah, we want to do what feels good. But the most important thing is you need to get pre-approved so that you understand some of the upside and pitfalls as far as shopping for a home. And also that you understand what your mortgage payment's going to be.
Amen.
And so that you can shop with confidence, because sometimes that payment and that purchase price are not necessarily in line, and the educational process that goes on there is so critical.
Yeah, and that's really important. I mean, whether you're buying a HUD home or any other home, it's really important to get pre-qualified, because, I mean, you have to know your bases. In essence, I mean, everybody can think, hey, I can afford the $1 million home, but in essence, it's your monthly payment. How much can you afford? Your monthly payment will dictate your purchase price. So, in essence, if you're not pre-qualified and you're looking at $200,000 homes and that monthly payment is a bit out of your reach, you know, there's no point in looking at that $200,000 home, because you're going to fall in love with it.
Thank you. Why put yourself through that?
You're going to go through everything, and when you see the home that you can't afford, it's going to be complete disappointment.
You're going to get in trouble with your spouse in a big way, and it's not going to
It's
not going to get over. It's not going to blow over fast.
Yes. Yeah, and with HUD homes, I mean, once you get pre-qualified, you know, it takes all the surprises out with the HUD home. It's listed at the appraised value. So in essence, if you know you're qualified up to a $200,000, or for instance on this, the one on Princeton, it's listed at $325,000. If you know that that's what you're pre-qualified for, there's no surprises. You can go in and say, you know, I can afford this house. The appraisal has been done. You're going to save some money. So again, on this HUD home, it's a lot easier. And if you're pre-qualified for an FHA loan, you already know. There takes all of the surprises out. Is this house going to qualify for an FHA loan?
How many times do we get that question asked? Or you're talking to a listing agent, Michelle. You were just talking to a listing agent last week. Oh, I'm not so sure it's going to qualify for FHA financing.
No one can ever tell me why.
Yeah.
That's my concern with agents.
That's a common response.
That is a common response. Agents can't seem to tell me why they don't think it will qualify.
Because I've been in the business for 32 minutes, and I just don't think it will.
HUD homes, it takes that surprise out. You know it'll qualify for FHA or not. And so you don't have to waste your money on an appraisal, because one's already been done, and you can get into these homes extremely easy.
Saves you roughly $450 with the appraisal already being completed, and if you're utilizing FHA financing.
Yes.
So as a consumer, okay, let's pretend I'm the consumer. I went, I got pre-approved. Hi. I went, I got pre-approved. Now what do I do? What do I do? I have this letter, and it says I can buy a house. Help me. What do I do?
Well, first and foremost,
sounds like she's got a problem,
you call
honey.
one of us.
I call one of you?
You call one of us so that we can help you through the process.
What do I call you? I'm just teasing.
And we start helping you find a home.
Okay. So I have my letter.
So how do we find HUD homes specifically?
Yeah, HUD homes, you can go to HUDhomestore.com. It will that's the main site for HUD homes, and it shows you every single home in California. You can drill down and specifically by county or by city. The next part, that's if you want to see what's out there, but you can also give us a call. Give Michelle, myself, or any real estate agent of your choice. Give them a call, and they can help you and walk you through the process of buying a HUD home.
Now, having said that, calling any agent of your choice, that's extremely important. You've said that many times. It is important to note that that you should make sure that your agent is experienced with regards to the process of selling HUD homes. Now, so having said that, if they want to call Michelle or yourself, then by all means, pick up the phone, give you guys a call. If they're dealing with an agent, let's say they're an agent, they've got a pre-existing relationship, and we're always extremely cognizant of that relationship and ensuring that that relationship is maintained, then contact you, have their agent contact you as well to make sure that you keep them in the loop and help to educate them about the process.
As a local listing broker, I mean, we're here to help. We're here to help sell these homes.
Right.
And we're here to help other agents. I've received calls from buyers where they say, you know what, my agent doesn't feel too comfortable dealing with HUD homes because they don't know the process. And they feel like they're going to be excluded from that great value, great deal.
Can anyone sell a HUD home?
Anyone that has a a NAID number. So you do have to have a HUD NAID number to sell HUD homes.
So
and
the broker does.
The broker has to have
And if you don't have one, call our office.
Call our office. We will help out in the process. There is some things that we have to deal with, and we're not opposed to paying a referral fee if your agent does not have the HUD NAID number, so that the buyer, as a consumer, doesn't lose on that opportunity. And we will go through the entire process and ultimately explain how they're going to save money, how to bid, how to close on a deal. It is important, as with when you're looking at lenders, is make sure that they understand the process. Make sure the agent you're dealing with understands the HUD process from start to finish, what paperwork needs to be filled out. It is a little bit different than your typical sale, but after you speak with it, it's a lot easier than your typical sale.
Well, it's like anything else we deal with, though.
A lot of agents get scared because it's a new thing. Everybody gets scared of new things, and it's so easy to purchase a HUD home. It's so easy to follow through on their paperwork. There's actually less paperwork than if you were purchasing a home from Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or something.
Right, and I was going to say, each entity we deal with, whether it's Fannie Mae
has their own set of rules.
B of A, they all have their unique circumstances,
Yes.
and we as agents have learned to acclimate.
Yeah, and we as agents, we learn and we understand the process. So when someone's starting to look at these homes as a consumer, I know I mentioned you can go online, look at the homes that you can purchase, but it's very important, contact a professional. Contact somebody that knows the process, somebody that's going to walk you through the entire buying process of helping you buy your home.
Well, and we've talked a lot about the fact that you and Craig are out there teaching other agents how to do this, correct?
Yes.
So that's something else to look at. Go to the FAR, go to the association if you are an agent and you need that information.
And to touch on that real quickly, we had an outreach this week on Wednesday. We taught one in Clovis. We are doing this particular show. This would be considered outreach. In other words, trying to get the word out to the masses, getting them familiar. The more times you hear it, sometimes you'll inquire, pick up the phone, call us, and ask a question with regards to HUD homes. We will even do a HUD home training, successfully selling HUD homes, as well as part of your first-time homebuyer outreach as well, successfully buying a HUD home or a first-time homebuyers class. So this takes on many different shapes. We'll go to a broker's office and teach. I've taught classes as small as a broker and 5 agents. So 6 total. And we've had classes as big as probably 40 people or thereabouts.
So whatever it is, to get the word out to agents, how to sell a HUD home. And one thing I really want to say for all the agents that are listening out there, we are respectful of your client. Even though I've dealt with agents where they've referred a buyer to me because of this process, if they don't have their NAID number, we have to pretty much take over the entire transaction of following through with the buyer, showing them the house, going through and doing inspections.
Correct.
And basically being their agent, because we take that liability of saying we know the process. But for all those agents that do refer business to us, any future business, we are not going to take it from them. And we understand. I had one that I sold him a HUD home, and now he wanted to buy an investment property. I got the information for the investment property and called the agent that referred the business and said, look, your buyer wants to purchase another property as an investment. Give them a call.
Right.
Follow through with them.
On the HUD note, as far as investors, because I know we've talked about home ownership and that HUD's purpose is home ownership, what about investors? I know there's a lot of investors getting into the market who look at these and say, oh, I can't buy it.
These investors, every investor from the day we list the homes, because they're such a great value, the price is set. I mean, most of the time, for some odd reason, the price is low. Even though it has an appraisal, when you look at these properties and compare them to other properties, the price is set at a great price, and the investors want these properties from day one.
Why is that, Sal? You say it's appraised, but then you say it's a great deal in comparison. So tell me more about why you think that.
Honestly, on the prices that come in, I mean, every appraisal is different. Why they come in low or why it's perceived to come in low, I don't have a
Is
great
our
answer
market
for
just
that.
more active, you think?
Our market, there's
a
lots
lot of
houses out there.
There's a lot of HUD homes right next to
Yes.
Fannie Mae homes, so Fannie Mae's are always priced 15% in excess of market.
And so investors can't, at the current time,
Just
investors
kidding.
are not allowed to purchase a HUD home if it qualifies to be federally insured by a loan for the first 30 days.
30 days. So they need to wait 30 days.
They need to wait 30 days as
generally.
investors. What that does is it gives, again, the opportunity for home ownership. It gives them the someone's going to live in the home,
It's an
gives them the ability
exclusive period of
to
time.
get in there.
Yeah.
Later on, it used to be back last about 2-3 years ago, they only had, I believe it was 7 days, 7 or 10 days before an investor was allowed to bid on a home. HUD might in the future change their guidelines again. We're not sure.
We did hear recently, and this was some scuttlebutt, that Tom Rose from the Santa Ana Home Ownership Center was stating that when a property becomes listed on the market, first 10 days are for viewing and bid submission if the status of the property is insured or insured with escrow. So that means that it's insured means no repairs. Insured with escrow means that there are some repairs.
So it's not a deficient property. It's a good, strong property.
Correct. And that he says, so after the first 10 days, let's say an offer gets accepted on the 11th day or the next closest business day. He said after the property's been listed for 15 days, from day 16 to day 30, he says we sell very few homes.
So
and
they
then,
sit
So
on
they
the market.
sit, exactly. So day 30, so statistically, they're looking at these properties and saying, okay, so if we need to do a better job of moving these properties quicker, how can we reduce expenses?
Cost containment.
Exactly. A holding expense, the time is an expense.
Sure.
So what they are contemplating, and this is something that may or may not be coming down the road, is reducing that exclusive period of time from 30 down to 15, that investors would be able to bid on a property. The first 10 days would still be static, still be the same. But on day 16, bids are opened.
Yeah, and that's something that has been looked at. I'm not sure what step of the process they're in on that, but currently it's 30 days. Honestly, I feel it should, for owner-occupants, 10 days is more than enough time to be on the market. If an owner-occupant does not want to take that opportunity within those first 10 days to say, hey, this is a good deal, let me look at it, and go for it, then, ultimately, if they haven't picked it up by the 10th day, I think it should be opened up to investors on the 11th day on all properties.
We might see that coming down the pipe. Who knows?
Right, your congressman.
And
Yeah, there you
in
go.
essence, that's take the opportunity, jump on these homes, look at them, and go out and talk to your agent and make a bid on them.
In a
There you go.
competitive market.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle, Sal, and myself share with you on the show, or a question that is about something that's affecting your world right at the moment, it all starts with one call. Call us anytime. That is a call from you. 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go and listen to us on your smartphone with the iPeak Tuner app that you can download from your app store, or listen to us online at KMJNow.com. You can also go to our website, search for your new home at ValleyWideSells.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 Keywords.
Friend Valleywide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 Keywords.
KMJ, call
To get
Valleywide.
connected to us anytime. We'd love to hear from you. Well, after the break, we are going to finish up our conversation with Sal Hernandez, local listing broker from Valleywide Homes here in Fresno. We're also going to take some listener questions. Make sure you stay with us. You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate here on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Rick Ransom, a local guy, began his career in mortgage lending in 1989. In 91, he became one of the first reverse mortgage lenders in California. Since that time, he's helped hundreds of seniors with reverse mortgages and other senior-related issues. And he's one of the few in this business who is a CPA.
This is Rick Ransom. Much of what you hear on TV and radio is not altogether true. There is misinformation. A reverse mortgage can help you supplement your retirement, pay off your existing mortgage or credit cards, even purchase a new home. If you're ready for a free face-to-face meeting with someone with 45 years experience in the application process, call me at 221-5355. That's 221-5355. I look forward to meeting with you.
DRE number 513201, NMLS number 240770.
Come taste the flavor of the valley at Fresno Buddhist Temple's Ginza Food Bazaar on Saturday, October 26th, 11:30 to 6 p.m., located at 2690 East Alluvial Avenue between Chestnut and Willow. Teriyaki chicken, sushi, ribs, katsu dogs, plus many more food choices, as well as desserts. Live entertainment and a raffle for a $1,000 first prize and an iPad second prize, plus many more great prizes. For more information, call 442-4054. That's 442-4054. Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer, at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
When it comes to investing and wealth management, you can find good counsel from someone at a local office for a Wall Street firm. And if you do well, a main office in New York does well. However, we at Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group offer a very different choice. Our associates offer Wall Street experience from an independent, local company. We answer to you, not New York. Thies & Duker's owners, associates, and staff members live right here. We're your neighbors.
I'm Tom Morgan, a financial consultant with Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group. I recently joined Thies & Duker because I wanted to serve my clients in an independent firm that truly values clients, families, and this community. If that's what you're looking for too, give me a call at 448-8190.
Feel right at home at Thies & Duker. Visit us online at thiesandduker.com. ThiesendUker.com.
The consultants at Thies & Duker are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Come join the fun and show your support for three-time defending Valley champion Coach Adrian Wiggins and the Clovis East boys basketball program at the 9th annual Crab Feed Dinner on Saturday, October 12th at 6 p.m. at the Fresno Betsuin Buddhist Temple's Family Dharma Center, located at 2720 East Alluvial Avenue. A dinner featuring crab, chicken, and tri-tip. A live and silent auction with dancing starting at 9 p.m. For more information, contact 797-5381. That's 797-5381. Or use press 4 keywords, Clovis East.
You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, as we mentioned, we have Sal Hernandez, local listing broker from Valleywide Homes, responsible for the management, marketing, and disposition of HUD homes here in the Central Valley and Fresno, Madera counties. So, Sal, let's talk about buyer's inspections. Inspections nowadays, hot topic, really, really important.
Yeah, it is another hot topic. And another benefit that buyers, owner-occupants have on these HUD homes is every owner-occupant has 15 days to inspect these homes. If for any reason there's anything on there that is major that's going to change their mind, foundations going or anything
It's better to do it up front, huh?
It's better to, you get out there, your money is secure, and you can cancel a transaction during this inspection process.
So if there's something that you come up with on
there's a safety
the home
net
inspection,
yeah. Yes, instead of going out and buying another home that's not a HUD home, sometimes they don't give you that inspection period, and your good faith deposit's up in the air.
So what happens if you find something on the inspection, and it's not necessarily a deal breaker per se, but a buyer's accustomed to, or their agent is accustomed to, going back to the seller and saying, hey, we found this on our home inspection, and we'd like you to fix this.
HUD homes are sold as is. There are no repairs on a HUD home or renegotiation in price. Once your offer is accepted at, let's just say, $100,000, and you find that this property has a well that dried up, you cannot renegotiate price, and you can back out of the offer. If,
we had one of those this last week, didn't we?
We did have
the
one
well
of those.
Was not dry, but pumping 3 gallons a minute.
I've had a HUD home that the well was dry, according to the well inspection company.
Yeah.
And the buyer still felt it was a great value, and they went ahead and paid for it after close of escrow.
Well, there you go.
On a HUD home, another thing about inspections is, let's say you find something that needs to be fixed, or the underwriter calls. If you're utilizing FHA financing, HUD homes allow you to include those repairs in your escrow account as part of your loan. So in essence, they allow you to finance those repairs.
And who is responsible for those repairs?
The buyer is responsible for those repairs. The buyer is responsible for financing those repairs. None of these repairs cannot happen prior to close of escrow.
Good to know.
So there's absolutely no repairs allowed during escrow or before it closes.
What happens if, and we've seen this quite a bit in today's market, probably not as much now that we've seen the 500-plus unit increase in inventory that we've seen over the last 10 weeks, but let's talk about overbidding. When the inventory numbers were much lower, how does HUD look at that?
Overall overbidding, before we touch real quick on that, investors, there is no inspection period. Okay, so I know we said 15 days inspection period. Again, that's owner, occupants, investors. They buy the house, and they do their inspections prior to that. They know this game. They know the buying process, and so HUD feels
they're more sophisticated.
And know what they're doing. Overbidding, really, really important. Again, like I said before, there is no renegotiation of price. So if you overbid $10,000 on a HUD home, you are responsible for the difference. If you are utilizing FHA financing, conventional, whichever it may be. If you overbid and you're using conventional financing or anything other than FHA, you can order a new appraisal. And if your appraisal comes in at the amount you overbid, then you're okay. You're okay. If it comes in short of your actual bid amount, does not matter. Again, $100,000, you bid on the house, that's the listing price, you bid $110,000, and the house only appraises for $105,000, you are still responsible for that $5,000 difference.
Wow.
And you cannot renegotiate.
Cash is king in that instance.
Yes, and that's really important. Again, dealing with a real estate professional that knows what they're doing. They should be able to advise you and pull comps and pretty much give you a good number to say, you know what, this is probably the max the house will appraise at. And if you feel comfortable submitting that dollar amount, submit it. Don't go and submit an offer for $20,000 over that, unless you really want the house and you don't care about paying that extra $20,000 that you don't need to finance it.
Got a little cash to blow.
Yeah, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and there is people out there that they want that house regardless of how much it's going to cost. They're okay with paying $50,000 more than what it's going to be appraised at.
So to recap for our listeners, first and foremost, if you're looking for a property, you can go to HUD's website, HUDHomestore.com. You can actually look at properties nationwide.
On this website. Yes, you can go on there. And again, that's just to give you a feel of where you're at. Most important, after you look at that website, call a real estate agent.
Correct.
Call a professional that knows what they're doing. Don't try to take it all on your own.
And if they want to call Sal, they can call Sal at area code 559-519-3103. Again, that's 559-519-3103. Sal, thanks so much for getting up with us this morning, buddy.
Thank you for having me here.
A little better at 9 a.m. than it was at 7 a.m., and even better than it was at 4 a.m. Right?
Yes, and my eyes were still closed when we got here.
Yeah, there you go. Let's take some listener questions real quick. Well, Sylvia from Fresno says, I recently sat down to get pre-approved for a mortgage and asked a question of my loan officer, and I got this kind of blank look.
What was the question?
Well, what is my APR, and why is it different from my note rate? She goes, I thought my loan was locked in at 4.5%. Help, Real Estate Radio Network.
So what did you say?
Well, your note rate is the rate at which you will repay, or the rate at which you will repay the terms of that loan, your interest and principal, over the specified term of that loan. But your annual percentage rate is a tool that is intended for the consumers to be able to use to shop effectively for mortgages. So your annual percentage rate is an expression of the cost of your loan. If there's no cost associated with your loan, you've heard of the term 0% APR. Well, if GMAC offers 0% APR, that means there's no interest rate and no costs and fees, because if you had a 0% interest rate, but your APR was 0.25, that means that your interest rate was 0, but there was costs associated with your loan. So it's just a tool that is intended to be able to be used by the consumer to effectively put two loans side by side. Let's say same purchase price, same percentage of money's down, same interest rate or not. But let's say it is the same interest rate. But the key is this, that the APR with one loan is higher. So that means that loan, as long as it was disclosed accurately, is the loan with more expenses associated with their loan.
Gotcha.
So the deer in the headlight look need not apply here. And let's see here. Seth from Clovis says, I've been looking for a home for approximately, you're going to love this, Michelle, approximately 2 weeks, and I've submitted 3 offers, and still nothing has gotten accepted.
Do you need me to bring a tissue box? Because I'm really not sure how you want me. 2 weeks.
Are you kidding me? That's what you're going to say.
That's like a baby home shopper. And I say that respectfully because in a matter of 2 weeks, you're really getting your feet wet. You're really,
beginning to get somewhat of a pulse as far as the market's
what's
concerned.
out there, because you can drive around and you can look at Trulia and some of the websites, but it really isn't accurate. It really isn't accurate until you go out and you look at the actual homes that are available, and you look at the comps in those areas, and you do an evaluation of, where am I at, and do I love this house enough to pay $230,000 for it, which is where it comps, or not. So really, to me, 3 homes that she made offers on, I'm not surprised in this market at all.
Seth might be feeling a little insecure, or feels like things should be moving a little bit faster as far as, should I have gotten something accepted? We have no idea as to the content of the offers, how the offers were structured, what the offering price was in relationship to what the asking price.
I'm a firm believer that the right house comes when the right house is supposed to come.
The next best house is the next best house.
And let me just reassure people, I don't have anybody I've been working with for 2 years. Let's not make it out to be, well, we're just going to keep looking. No. Honestly. But I do believe that there's a sense of fate about it, and that's just me. Mm-hmm. But I do think certain things happen the way they're supposed to, and the right house for Seth potentially has not come up. Don't be frustrated with the market or frustrated with your agent. Just know that the right one hasn't come up yet.
Be patient, Seth.
Patient.
Exactly. Patience is a virtue. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle, Sal, and myself share with you on our show today, or you have a question about something that's affecting your life specifically, give us a call. It all starts with one call, and that's a call from you. Call us anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go, and listen to us on your smartphone with the iPeak Tuner app that you can download from your app store, or listen to us online at KMJNow.com. Check out our resources online. Go to ValleyWideSells.com. You can search for your new home for free. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 Keywords.
Friend Valleywide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 Keywords.
KMJ, call Valleywide.
To call into the show anytime. Special thank you to Sal Hernandez, local listing broker with Valleywide Homes here in the Fresno. We're here in Fresno. Excuse me. Thanks so much for being on with us this morning. Big thank you to Michelle and Pettis. Michelle,
anytime.
Thanks so much, kid. Johnny B behind the mics. As always, Johnny, you rock. Our goal with the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate market so we can help bring you
back home.
Don't forget to tune into the Real Estate Radio Network next Sunday at 9 a.m. on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 the FM KMJ. Local news, local talk. Make it a great day, California, and we will see you next week.
The preceding is paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network.